If you're over 60, every pill you pop in the morning could be a silent threat to your heart. As a cardiologist with 30 years in the trenches, I've held the hands of seniors who walked into my clinic feeling fine, vibrant even, only to leave with news that shattered their world. A heart teetering on the edge of failure. Those supplements you trust, the ones marketed as your shield against aging, might be the very ones betraying you. I'm begging you to stay with me for this video. I'm revealing 5 supplements you need to stop today, backed by science, stories, and the truth no one else will tell you. Your heart can still heal, but only if you act now. Let's start with a story that changed everything for me. Segment 1, The First Truth. High-dose vitamin E. George's wake-up call picture. George, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Seattle. He was the kind of man who lit up any room, quick with a joke, always tinkering in his garden. George prided himself on his health. He walked 2 miles every morning, ate his kale salads, and swallowed a handful of vitamins without fail. Among them, a 600 IU vitamin E capsule, one he'd taken for years, believing it was guarding his heart and brain. One spring afternoon, George felt a flutter in his chest, like a bird trapped inside. He brushed it off. Maybe too much coffee, he thought. But by evening, the flutter became a pounding, irregular rhythm that sent him to the ER. When I met him, his face was pale, his eyes wide with fear. Tests revealed atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that raised his stroke risk. Worse, we found signs of minor internal bleeding in his stomach. George was stunned. "Doc, I'm doing everything right," he said, his voice cracking. "How did this happen?" As we dug deeper, the culprit emerged. That high-dose vitamin E he trusted so much. The weight of trust betrayed. Imagine George's shock. For years, he'd followed the advice of ads, articles, even friends who swore by vitamin E. He felt proactive, in control, like he was outsmarting aging. But now, lying in a hospital bed, he felt betrayed, not just by the supplement, but by his own body. That's the emotional toll I see in so many seniors. You take these pills with hope, believing they're building a fortress around your health. When they turn against you, it's not just physical pain. It's a loss of trust, a crack in the foundation of how you see yourself. George told me later, "I felt foolish, like I'd been duped." That's not just George's story. It's the story of millions who swallow supplements without questioning, carrying the quiet fear that they're not doing enough to stay healthy. Why vitamin E hurts? Let's break this down. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, praised for decades as a protector against heart disease and aging. It's in every drugstore multivitamin, often dosed at 400 to 800 IU, far above the body's needs. The problem? In high doses, vitamin E becomes a double-edged sword. First, it thins your blood excessively. For seniors whose blood vessels are naturally more fragile, this is a recipe for disaster. Combined with common medications like aspirin or blood thinners, it can trigger internal bleeding, like George's stomach issue, or worse, a hemorrhagic stroke. Studies, like one from the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2005, found that doses above 400 IU increased mortality risk in older adults. Second, high-dose vitamin E disrupts your heart's electrical system. It can interfere with platelet function, destabilizing the rhythm, leading to conditions like atrial fibrillation. The damage is insidious. No warning signs until it's too late. The kicker? Your body doesn't need megadoses. The recommended daily allowance is just 15 milligrams, about 22 IU, easily met with foods like almonds, spinach, or avocados. Anything more, and you're overloading a system that's already delicate. George recovered, but only after stopping vitamin E and starting a tailored plan with his doctor. His story is a wake-up call. What you think is protecting you might be harming you. If you're taking high-dose vitamin E, pause and ask, is this what my heart needs, or what I've been sold? But vitamin E isn't the only danger hiding in your medicine cabinet. Let's talk about a supplement you're probably taking right now, one that's hardening your arteries while you think it's saving your bones. Stay with me. Segment 2. The second truth. Calcium without vitamin K2. Maria's silent threat. Maria, a 72-year-old grandmother from Chicago, was the heart of her family. She cooked Sunday dinners, chased her grandkids, and never missed her book club. Like many women her age, Maria worried about osteoporosis. Her mother had suffered fractures, so Maria took 1 to 200 milliliters of calcium daily, a habit she started after menopause. "I'm keeping my bones strong," she'd say proudly. But during a routine checkup, I noticed something alarming. Maria's blood pressure was creeping up, and a CT scan revealed early arterial calcification, calcium deposits stiffening her blood vessels. She was stunned. "I thought calcium was good for me," she said, her voice trembling. Maria was on the path to heart disease, and her daily supplement was partly to blame. The fear of doing harm. Maria's reaction was heartbreak mixed with confusion. She'd taken calcium to protect her future, to stay active, to avoid her mother's fate. Instead, she felt like she'd unknowingly poisoned herself. That's the emotional weight seniors carry. The fear that their efforts to stay healthy might backfire. I see this in my clinic daily. Patients like Maria pour their love into their families, their energy into staying independent. When a trusted supplement threatens that, it's not just a health scare, it's a blow to their identity. Maria confessed, "I'm terrified I've hurt myself when all I wanted was to be there for my kids." That fear is universal, and it's why we need to talk about the truth. Calcium's misguided journey. Calcium is essential for bones, but without proper guidance, it's like a lost traveler settling in the wrong place. Your arteries. Vitamin K2 is the guide, directing calcium to bones and teeth while keeping it out of soft tissues. Without K2, calcium can deposit in arterial walls, causing calcification. This stiffens blood vessels, forces your heart to pump harder, and raises risks of hypertension, heart attack, or stroke. A 2011 study in the British Medical Journal linked calcium supplements, without K2, to a 30% higher risk of heart attack in older women. Most over-the-counter calcium pills lack K2, and many seniors don't know this. Magnesium also helps regulate calcium, but it's often missing too. Maria's case wasn't unique. Her diet was low in K2-rich foods like fermented soy or goose liver, and her supplement was K2-free. The result? Her heart was paying the price for a bone-focused strategy. Maria's story has a hopeful ending. We switched her to a K2-inclusive supplement and added K2-rich foods like kefir. Her blood pressure stabilized, and she's back to her grandkids. If you're taking calcium, check the label for K2 and talk to your doctor. But there's another supplement lurking in your routine, one that sounds harmless but could be rusting your heart from the inside. Let's meet someone who learned this the hard way. Segment 3. The third truth. Excess iron supplements. Robert's hidden overload. Robert, a 65-year-old retired mechanic from Texas, was a man of routine. He fixed cars for 40 years, and in retirement he fixed himself. Daily walks, lean meats, and a multivitamin with iron to keep his energy up. Robert thought he was tired from aging, so he added an iron pill, assuming it couldn't hurt. One day, while fishing, Robert felt a crushing chest pain. In my ER, tests showed elevated ferritin levels, iron overload. His heart muscle was weakening, a condition called cardiomyopathy. Robert was floored. Iron? From my vitamins? He asked, his hands shaking. His supplement habit had quietly damaged the organ keeping him alive. The guilt of unseen harm. Robert's diagnosis hit him like a freight train. He'd always been the provider, the fixer. Now he felt like he'd failed himself. I thought I was being smart, he told me, his voice heavy with guilt. That's the emotional scar of iron overload. It makes you question your judgment. Seniors like Robert often take supplements to fight fatigue or feel younger. But when those pills harm them, the guilt is crushing. It's not just about health. It's about the fear of losing the strength to live life on their terms. Robert's story reminds us, good intentions can lead to unintended consequences. Iron's toxic buildup. Iron is vital for oxygen transport, but your body has no mechanism to excrete excess. After 60, men and postmenopausal women rarely need extra iron unless diagnosed with deficiency. Excess iron creates oxidative stress, like rust-corroding metal. It damages the heart muscle, leading to cardiomyopathy or arrhythmias, and can harm the liver and joints. A 2018 study in Circulation linked high ferritin levels to a twofold increase in heart failure risk. Many multivitamins include iron, and seniors like Robert take it without testing ferritin or hemoglobin. Fatigue, often blamed on low iron, can stem from other causes, thyroid issues, sleep apnea, or stress. But iron pills are a quick fix that can backfire. Robert's heart is recovering, but only after stopping iron and starting chelation therapy. If you're taking iron, demand a ferritin test first. Don't guess. We're not done yet. There's a vitamin in nearly every brain-boosting pill that could be frying your nerves and stressing your heart. Let's uncover this hidden danger. Segment 4, The Fourth Truth. High-dose vitamin B6, Linda's nerve nightmare. Linda, a 70-year-old artist from Florida, lived for her watercolor paintings. Her hands were her tools, her heart, her muse. To stay sharp, she took a brain booster supplement with 100 milligrams of vitamin B6 daily. She thought it was harmless. B vitamins are water-soluble, right? But over months, Linda noticed tingling in her fingers, then numbness. Painting became painful. When she came to me, neurological tests revealed peripheral neuropathy, nerve damage. Her heart also showed early signs of strain, with occasional palpitations. The cause? That high-dose B6 she trusted. The loss of passion. Linda's diagnosis broke her spirit. "My hands are my life," she whispered, tears in her eyes. For seniors, losing function isn't just physical. It's losing what defines you. Linda's art was her joy, her connection to the world. The idea that a healthy vitamin stole that felt like a cruel twist. This is the emotional cost of supplements gone wrong. They rob you of what makes life rich. Linda's fear wasn't just about health. It was about losing her identity as an artist. B6's toxic threshold, vitamin B6, pyridoxine, supports nerve function and energy, but in high doses, over 50-100 milligrams daily, it's toxic. It overwhelms nerve endings, causing neuropathy with symptoms like numbness, tingling, or burning. A 2017 study in neurology linked doses above 100 milligrams to a 2.4-fold higher neuropathy risk. High B6 can also stress the heart. It disrupts homocysteine metabolism, potentially raising cardiovascular risk, and may cause palpitations by overstimulating the nervous system. The RDA is just 1.5 milligrams, easily met with bananas, chicken, or potatoes. Yet many energy supplements pack 50-100 milligrams, far beyond safe limits. Linda stopped B6, and with therapy, her hands are slowly improving. If you're taking B6 heavy supplements, check the dose and talk to your doctor. We've got one final truth. A supplement so common, it's in every kitchen cabinet, but it's quietly raising your heart attack risk. Stay with me for the last piece of this puzzle. Segment 5. The fifth truth. High-dose fish oil. Tom's unexpected crisis. Tom, a 68-year-old fisherman from Maine, was as rugged as the sea he loved. He took 3,000 ml of fish oil daily, believing it was his ticket to a healthy heart. "Omega-3s are good, right?" he'd say with a grin. But one winter morning, Tom collapsed during a haul, clutching his chest. In my cath lab, we found a partially blocked artery. His blood tests showed elevated triglycerides, but also dangerously thin blood from excessive omega-3s. Tom was baffled. "I thought fish oil was saving me," he said, his voice hollow. The shock of misplaced faith. Tom's collapse shook him to his core. He'd seen friends die of heart attacks, and fish oil was his armor. To learn it contributed to his crisis felt like a betrayal. For seniors, this shock cuts deep. You trust these pills to keep you safe, to let you live fully. When they fail, it's not just a health scare, it's a reminder of mortality. Tom told me, "I thought I was bulletproof." That's the emotional trap, believing a supplement can outsmart biology. Fish oil's fine line. Fish oil's omega-3s reduce inflammation and triglycerides, but high doses, above 2,000 ml daily, can thin blood excessively, raising bleeding risk, especially with medications like warfarin. A 2021 New England Journal of Medicine study found high-dose omega-3s increased atrial fibrillation risk by 25%. For some like Tom, it can destabilize plaques in arteries, triggering clots. The American Heart Association recommends 1,000 mg or less for general health, ideally from fish like salmon. High doses should only be prescribed for specific conditions, like high triglycerides, under medical supervision. Tom's on a lower dose now, and his heart's stronger. If you're taking fish oil, check the dose and consult your doctor. We've uncovered 5 truths, but the biggest is this. Your heart deserves better than blind trust in supplements. Let's wrap this up with hope and action. If you've made it this far, thank you for caring about your heart. George, Maria, Robert, Linda, and Tom, they're not just patients. They're proof that knowledge can save lives. Your heart is resilient, but it needs you to make smart choices. Stop high-dose vitamin E, calcium without K2, excess iron, high B6, and megafish oil unless your doctor says otherwise. Get nutrients from food, spinach, salmon, almonds, and always test before supplementing. Talk to your doctor. Ask for blood work. Take control. You're not just protecting your heart. You're protecting your future. Your grandkids' laughter, your morning walks, your passions. If this video helped you, please type 1 in the comments. If it didn't, type 0 and tell me how I can do better. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a tip to keep you thriving. Next week, we're diving into the foods that can reverse heart damage. Don't miss it. From my heart to yours, thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay curious, and keep fighting for your health. I'll see you soon.